Ionavation. We out in New Rochelle, Ionavation. Moving with Intel, Ionavation. Now we in the groove, Ionavation. We making money and moves, hey.
Hello, Ionavators. I'm May.
And I'm Bert.
Welcome back to the Ionavation Podcast show. Today we are lucky enough to have two special guests, Lendynette Pacheco-Jorge and Jarlyne Batista.
And so Lendynette is the assistant director and Jarlyne is the coordinator of the Hynes Institute. So let's get into a couple questions, right? So what is innovation entrepreneurship for you?
So I'm just going to define it in its simple terms. Innovation is the introduction to something new and or the application of better solutions that meet new requirements, unarticulated need, or existing market needs. So then we go into entrepreneurship, and what is entrepreneurship? It's pretty much the process of creating and managing innovation throughout its time.
Absolutely. So I know you guys are working at the Hynes Institute for Entrepreneurship and Innovation. So tell us a little bit about what that means and what the mission of Hynes is.
Sure, I'll chime in here. So the mission of the Hynes Institute is to build a community of student entrepreneurs, as well as help them to build an entrepreneurial mindset through both curricular and co-curricular programming. So that includes like developing a minor, hopefully a major, graduate courses in entrepreneurship, and a full set of amazing events and activities that students can partake in.
Which we've experienced firsthand. So
Yes,
that's
you
exciting.
have, several times.
What are each of your favorite programs?
For me, it's the E-Talks, because the E-Talks brings entrepreneurs to campus, and we're showcasing their different industry and kind of what was their entrepreneurial path in or out of that industry. So that's my favorite.
I actually like the competitions because it's always a challenge for students to kind of take on something new and build on an idea, whether it's something that they're planning or something that they're coming up with like that moment, like the idea hackathon that we have coming up, homecoming weekend.
Yeah.
Should definitely check that out.
Well,
What about you, May?
for me, it would have to be... Oh boy, I don't know. Like, I feel like the Hynes as a whole is just it's been a journey for me so far, and to just like pick one program is kind of impossible. But if I would have to just pick one thing, it would have to be my internship, because I'm learning and growing and developing my skills in entrepreneurship and innovation.
Awesome.
That is something that we do, the internship.
Yeah.
We do have an internship for every semester for Iona students to partake.
Awesome. So how can students like get involved with some of these programs, whether it be at competitions or curricular programming, or how can they get involved with those?
So I'll start it off, and then Jarlyne, you can speak more details. But just to start with the fact that it's an interdisciplinary program, which means that it doesn't matter what school you are. So you could be an arts or science school or a business school, and still you could take advantage of all the programming and classes that the Hynes Institute puts out. So we have already the curriculum on the undergrad pretty much done. We have a minor in entrepreneurship that we are actively teaching the classes at GaelVentures. And then we just have different programming, like I mentioned, the E-Talks, a competition, we have workshops, but we also just have co-working at GaelVentures, which is just an opportunity that students could come into the office and just either talk with other like-minded students about their ideas, just be in a different environment in our space, and kind of get to know what is it more about.
Yeah, and then also another great way to get involved on campus is through CEO, the Entrepreneurship Club at Iona. So that's always a great way, always a great place to start. And you guys are also in the club.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you can share some of your experiences being involved with the club and how it connects to the Hynes Institute.
Absolutely.
Just to add a little bit to everything, like, just some people don't understand what entrepreneurship, and that's why we explained it a little, but also what motivates you to be an entrepreneur. So you don't have to major in entrepreneurship to be an entrepreneur. You could say be an arts major and be still an entrepreneur. So it really doesn't matter what industry you're going into. What we say is you should use entrepreneurship to leverage your career.
Absolutely.
I agree with that.
So both of you have been with Hynes for quite some time now. So what would you say is something that identifies your journey with Hynes so far, and what have you taken away from it?
So mine, I'm definitely a little bit more involved with a lot of like the creative process. So it's always tackling a new challenge. Definitely a lot of design challenges every single day is something new. So it's really been a really fun experience and a challenge for myself to kind of always find new ways to be innovative in my role and to solve everyday problems so that I can help other students also solve problems.
Absolutely.
Mine in my 10 months? No, it's actually 12 minus a couple of days.
Yes, and you guys have been there from the beginning, which is absolutely amazing.
So I mean, like, I like to think for myself as an entrepreneur, even though I haven't done the traditional entrepreneurial things to do, but the fact that I look at problems differently makes me feel like an entrepreneur. And in this endeavor of the Hynes Institute, I think what has been the greatest aspect is the support of the college behind this new initiative. And then sort of when the students get it, it's amazing. I see that light bulb, and that makes me feel the fuzzy something. I mean, like, I see you guys and what you guys have done, and that's amazing. And that part of it is really special to me.
Yeah, and it's so inspirational to see like the ideas that students come up with and how hard they work towards it, and how we can like provide some feedback, and then they come back and they're like, oh my gosh, you have to see what we did next. Like, we did this, or you know what, we're like pivoting completely and changed our idea.
But it's like you guys instill that excitement within us, because we really know that we have an amazing support team and just people to push us and make our ideas come to life. And that's something that's so amazing that a lot of students don't get to experience, and we're so lucky to be able to experience that.
And having such a great space like GaelVentures is something that's like very motivating too. Like, going in there, having the resources, like having like the modular tables, like it's really fun. It's like a really great experience. Students can practice prototyping or prototype, their own designs with
3D printing.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, thank you guys so much for not only being on this journey with us, but coming on our podcast today. It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you for having us.
Of course.
It was nice.
So now it's time for the Gael breakdown. So homecoming weekend's coming up, right?
Yes, it is. October 20th.
Ooh, what can we look forward to? What kind of events?
All right, so we got 2 big events happening. We have the Idea Hackathon, which is bright and early in the morning, 8:30. Bring your thinking caps. You're going to tackle a challenge with your fellow peers. It's going to be great. It's going to be fun. You can win a pair of wireless matte black Beats headphones.
Nice.
I know, it's pretty sweet. And then afterwards, you can head on over to the pop-up makerspace. It's going to be outdoors at 12:30 p.m. You're going to experience the design process using Legos, 3D printing, and you're going to see how it all connects. Maybe play with some Play-Doh.
Yeah.
Bring out the kid in you, so it's going to be fun.
And all these events will be happening on October 20th at Saturday, so it's the weekend. You all better be there.
And it's going to be like bright and early, right?
Yep.
Nice. Looking forward to it. In addition to that, we want to ask everybody to sign up to our startup tree, which is basically an online networking platform where you can connect with other students that are also building startups, and you can connect with mentors that have experience and things like that. And yeah, it's a really good website just to get involved with the ecosystem here on campus. And that website is iona.startuptree.co. And it's a really good, you just sign up with your Iona email, and that's it.
And lastly, we want to remind you guys about co-working. They happen every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday at GaelVentures. So stop by and throw on your thinking cap some more. It'll be a good time.
And to talk a little bit about co-working and what is
co-working?
Co-working is pretty much what I call the time to walk into GaelVentures. If you don't know what it is, just come in. We're always available to sit with you and ideate with you. What is ideating? Well, you're working on any project, be it a class project, be it a personal project, be it a business venture. We could sit with you and help you brainstorm some ideas of how to move forward and capture anything you have by just us asking questions. We like asking questions.
Yep.
Yeah. Awesome. So, I mean, that really wraps up this week, but
Thank you
thanks
guys.
again.
Yes, for joining us.
Thank you
It's
for
a pleasure.
having us.
Of course. Adios.
Adios.
Hey, we really working. GaelVentures is the spot. Bert and May got the podcast hot. We innovating, no debating, we creating. Ionavators in our lane, never hating. We just worry about us and what we do. Ionavation Podcast show, get in tune.